So in this next unit, we're going to be looking at both simple and compound interest, and today we're going to start off looking at simple and compound interest using just the simple interest formula. So we need to go over a couple of definitions just as we go through, so we're aware of what we're talking about and some of the terminology that you're going to encounter in some of the practice questions and the test questions of this particular unit. So simple interest is always the money that you either pay when you borrow money, or it's the money that you can earn from some types of investment. And it's usually a percentage of the principal. And principal is just a fancy word of saying the starting amount of money that you either borrowed or that you invested. It's also known as the initial value, the starting value. The amount is always the final or the future value of an investment. Okay, and so that future value is going to include both the money that you started to invest or borrowed, and that's your principal, plus any accumulated interest that you happen to have earned. And finally, compound interest. It is a type of interest, but it's interest that's paid on the principal as well as its accumulated interest. So instead of just earning interest on, say the $1,000 that you invest, you actually earn the interest on the $1,000 plus whatever interest you earned in the previous years of the investment. So in order to calculate simple interest, we take the initial value to be invested, i.e. the principal, at its annual interest rate. So annual is another word for its yearly interest rate. And so in this case, annual means yearly. Okay, so we always calculate interest based on periods per year when we're doing simple interest, and we express that as a decimal. So all of your percentages are going to be expressed as a decimal. Okay, so we want to go from percentages to decimals. Okay, and the interest is added to the principal at the end of the period. So the simple interest formula is given to us here. It's I is equal to PRT. Okay, where I, capital I, is the interest, the amount of interest that you earn. Okay, that R is your interest rate as a decimal, so you always have to convert again from your percentage to a decimal, whatever that decimal happens to be. And your principal is your starting amount of money. Okay, so however much you invested or however much you borrowed. So your starting amount. And then T represents the time in years. And with simple interest, we always do it in years. In order to calculate what the final amount is going to be, the final amount at the end of your investment, you can use either one of the formulas below, but this is probably the one that you're going to use most frequently. Your final amount is your principal plus whatever interest you happen to earn over the course of the life of the investment. Okay, so those two formulas together, that's the formula for interest and the formula for interest and the formula for final amount you're going to work together with those two formulas quite frequently whenever you're looking at simple interest. So we'll do a couple of examples shortly.